Coming up on the Thursday edition of LSU Sports Showtime, LSU's men's basketball team looked to gain ground in the dog-eat-dog world of the SEC.
We'll also tell you how the Rec plans on holding spring intramurals after still feeling the effects of Hurricane Gustav.
And later, Hobie RT will be in the studio to preview the weekend in LSU sports.
All that and the top 5 plays of the week. This is Sports Showtime on Tiger TV.
Into the livest game coverage around. I'm talking LSU sports, Showtime in the towns. Get the scoop on the ball and sneak peek on the track. Key in on the field when them Tigers attack. In fact, you get it back a few times a week. But it starts on Tuesday, third day of the week. They're beasts when they broadcast, increase like a fall class. Critique when I speak by my squad in the quad, man. Yeah, they the stars on the quad, man. That's the TVC, Tiger TVP. Every game, every star, every player, every situation they facing the star in the making. And you get it first exclusively. Yeah, I know you feeling me. Who want the latest on the TIGERS? That's the LSU Tigers. We get it sparking like a fire. High up.
Welcome to Sports Showtime, your source for everything LSU athletics. I'm Brian Tompkins.
And I'm Mary Claire Palmer. Later in the show, we'll give you more about this semester's basketball intramurals. But first, the LSU men's basketball team. They did very well last night, huh, Brian?
That's right, Mary Claire. Last night in the PMAC, the men's basketball team was looking to break a bad streak of games against the Bulldogs.
And they did just that thanks to some stellar guard play. Let's take you to the highlights.
Tasman Mitchell gets things started off right down inside. He's fouled by Big Jarvis Varnado. That proved to be a mistake as Tasman went on to score 14 of the first 16 points for the Tigers. This time he takes the finesse move with the baby hook inside. Tasman Mitchell 2 for LSU.
And the Maravich Maniacs are going nuts in there, and they're going to go even more nuts with this Garrett Temple slam dunk. That's right, ending the half 36-30 Tigers.
Early in the second half, Tigers up by 14. Mississippi State coach Stansberry, guys, give me something over here. I need it.
And unfortunately, the Tigers respond to that question with Marcus Thornton going 3 for 3 from behind the arc. The man is on fire. Look at this one from the corner. Marcus Thornton going beast mode for the night. He had 3 threes in a row for his 11 straight points.
But point guard Bo Spencer looked at Thornton. Anything you can do, I can do better. Knocks down 3 points for the Tigers. That basically puts the game out of reach.
The Tigers would go on to win the game easily, 81-57. Marcus Thornton lit up the Bulldogs en route to 31 points and 5 rebounds.
Tasman Mitchell had another stellar performance, scoring 24 points and going a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. LSU's guard trio talked about their manhandling of first place in Mississippi State.
They was in first place over there. You know, we won this game. You know, we'll be tired of be above them since we beat them. So coach had us focused, you know, the last 2 days of practice. You know, we just came out and got the job done.
You know, defense did a great job. And like I said, it started with Bo Spencer on both. We got a lot of loose balls and, you know, kicked it up to Marcus, kicked it up to Bo. That might have been why we got a couple of free throws. They probably don't count that. But, you know, and that's momentum boosters. You know, that gets us into the game.
We came out, like, piggybacking off what they said, we came out, played 100, gave 110%. We practiced hard these last 2 days of practice. Coach got on us, told us we had to come out and defend our home court. Like he said, those guys were number one. And we wanted to come out with a W. And that's what we did.
All right, we're now joined by Sports Showtime basketball expert Jason Template to break down the team's performance last night. Jason, how's it going? Welcome to the show, man.
Pretty good, man. You know, basketball season is in full force now.
Good having you here. I love it when you're here.
Thank you.
First question, we saw how the men played last night. What were the keys to their success?
I'm going to give you 2, Brian. That's it. That's all. Tasman Mitchell, Marcus Thornton. Rest is history. While other players did their parts, Thornton and Mitchell stole the show. In the first half, Tasman took it right to Jarvis Varnado, who's the leading shot blocker in the nation with 5 block shots a game. He scored 16 of his 24 points in the first half. Marcus Thornton, you're going to crown him king of the second half. Scored 11 consecutive points at one point for the Tigers, including 3 consecutive shots from beyond arc. When Marcus gets hot, nobody can keep up with him.
All right, now we do know basketball takes 5 players per team. So besides those 2 players, what were some other keys to the victory?
Brian, I want to say Bo Spencer because he's impressed me. I never thought he would emerge as this great point guard, but got to go with the defense. Defense wins championships, and they fed off that crowd. The crowd was nuts last night. The Dogs' jump shot couldn't find its own shadow as they were held at 36% and were out-rebounded by 17. When you rebound the basketball and play defense, you can win some games.
All right, now the important thing you mentioned there was the crowd. Do you think the crowd is starting to get behind the basketball team like they kind of do the football team?
They're getting behind them. It's not going to be football, but it's going to be close. Every game, more people have gotten on the bandwagon. Last night was just another sign as the PMAC had the largest crowd of the season, and the Tigers should expect more on Saturday. Xavier, big out-of-conference game, should see a packed house in the PMAC.
All right, Jason, I'm thanking you for having you over here with me, but we do see you later on the show to discuss the Xavier game Saturday.
I'll be back. Can't wait.
All right, man, can't wait to see you. Toss it over to Mary Claire.
Building on the momentum of the men's big win last night, the Lady Tigers look to send the Bulldogs home in a similar fashion this evening. The team will look to extend its 9-game SEC home winning streak against Mississippi State tonight at 7 in the PMAC. The Bulldogs, who lead the league in block shots, come into Baton Rouge after posting a big road win at Kentucky last Sunday. LSU head coach Van Chancellor and junior guard Allison Hightower anticipate a physical matchup against the defensive powerhouse.
Bigger, they're stronger, they run good, they defend good, and they shoot good. This is the best Mississippi State team since the Tan White, LaToya Thomas era.
They have a very athletic team this year. Alexis Rack, she can do anything. I mean, she's shooting the ball from half court, three-pointers just going in. So their whole team is just very dominant, and they just like to get it done. So.
For more on tonight's big matchup, we are now going to toss it to Sports Showtime women's basketball expert Mark Talley, who has the latest news for the Lady Tigers, including an update on an injured Tiger. How are you doing today, Mark?
Pretty good, Mary Claire. How about you?
Good.
That's good. That's right. We are less than 3 hours away from tip-off in tonight's action in the PMAC, and the latest on forward, Catherine Graham, is that she is out for the second straight game with a high ankle sprain she suffered last week. Although Graham only averages 5 points and 5 boards per game, her defense and leadership have been sorely missed by the Lady Tigers. Speaking of defense, the Lady Tigers will have to find an answer for Lady Bulldog guard Alexis Rack. The junior is leading Mississippi State, scoring over 13 points per game. Every LSU player and coach we talked to said that she is the #1 defensive priority tonight. Rack's weapon of choice is the 3-ball. She hits over 32% from behind the line, good enough for 4th in the SEC. On the offensive side of the ball, LSU will have to beware of the myriad of shot blockers that Mississippi State possesses. The Lady Bulldogs come in averaging 7.5 blocks per game, far and away the best in the conference. If LSU can do that, they're going to call on Ayanna Dunning, a freshman forward, to provide a much-needed post presence. Van Chancellor said if she plays well tonight, they have a good chance to win. If they can't get any post production, it's going to be a long night for the Lady Tigers.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks for all that up-to-date information.
No problem.
Look forward to the big game tonight. And for the fans that can't make it to the game, tonight it will be broadcast live at 7 on Cox Sport Television. Now over to you, Brian.
After finishing last season with 49 wins and a College World Series berth, the LSU Tiger baseball team looked to carry that momentum into the 2009 season. LSU finds itself ranked #2 in the Baseball America poll released this week, behind the Aggies of Texas A&M, and also #2 by the NCBWA poll released last week. The Tigers, though, do hold the #1 spot in the Collegiate Baseball American magazine poll that came out last month. The Tigers get their season underway Friday, February the 20th, as they host Villanova in the new Alec Box Stadium.
You'll be seeing 10 new faces on the LSU softball team in the upcoming 2009 season. The team is currently ranked 19 in the NFCA preseason top 25. The Tigers were also picked to finish 2nd in the SEC West, behind division leader Alabama. The team looks to face 15 of the top 25 ranked teams, starting with #10 Oklahoma at the Paradise Softball Classic February 5th to the 7th. Highly anticipated play at the new Tiger Park begins February 11th, as the Tigers square off against McNeese State.
Well, it's time for our first commercial break, but later in the show, we'll have your top 5 plays of the week.
And when we come back, Hobie will be in the studio to break down your weekend preview. Stay tuned. This is Sports Showtime on Tiger TV.